People, dude, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Because you always use that accurate red line defending. I think it's like.
Are we live? Of course I'm live. Same shit, different day. Apologies for the French people. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, one love to everybody tuned in across Twitch and YouTube. Again, one love to the YouTube ones, but Twitch especially, because we're building over there. Journey to 10k on Twitch, same way as 50k journey on YouTube, alive and kicking. This is our second stream as well. If you're a part of the Twitch gang, we was live at 10 a.m. until 11ish, and now we're back again, people. So yeah, appreciative to everybody who supports my content, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitch, whether you watch every day or, you know, occasionally. Without you lot, it wouldn't be possible, man. Man said not on the AOL today. Don't know what go on, man. Luck of the draw, man. You know, we got to take that beef up with PT, my guy. But appreciative for you being tuned in, Charlie. First things first, once again, hope everyone's having a good week. Health is wealth. If you ain't got health, you're dead. So I hope you've got your health. I hope your loved ones have continued in better health. Hope you're having a smooth transition in relation to this week's goals, hopes, ambitions, aspirations, overcoming hardship, and all of those things. Yeah, man, I know we're all dying for football to return. We watched the international break. We saw lasers in Salah's face. We see Partey score, SALIBA making appearances for France, Guendouzi get a golden assist in 2 odd games, Tierney scored, Odegaard doing skills, Martinelli, you know, running around like a headless chicken and just ripping man in high altitude Bolivia. It's been a good Pepe scored as well for Ivory Coast. Ben White made a couple of appearances for England. You know, the last appearance better than the other one. It's been a good week for England, didn't it? And, well, Arsenal, you know, Smith Rowe as well. It's unfortunate Saka, Gabriel, etc. couldn't play a part in their country's international duties and things like that. So, yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks for Arsenal where that's concerned. You know, again, we've had a break from football depending on who you support. So, yeah, you know, it's the same shit every day, man. Let's just see the BS transfer rumours that have... you know, concerning our club, really. What are you lot saying? Bellingham was class, would be a dream for us to break the bank for him, trust, but you're talking about 100 M's now, minimum, even though I think that's a player that could play for Arsenal for a decade, someone that could become a captain, someone that could become a linchpin, not just for country, but obviously for Arsenal, grow with what we're doing and develop. But they're the man there. You have to buy when they're at Birmingham. In this day and age, once the bidding war starts, it's a myth. And Jude Bellingham's going to have, if he hasn't already, going to have a good career, really. Bradley, appreciative. Shout all the members, moderators, supporters, and subscribers. 2-3, appreciate you. Man said deluded grinder back at it again. Same-ish, different day, man. 6 p.m. on Twitch, I'm going to have Tapping Toes. He's obviously a Spurs fan, unfortunately. Good guy, sound dude. You know, make sure you're following him. Unfortunately, you know, doesn't quite have the same taste in football clubs as I do, but he supports Tottenham. So I'm going to just really we should have waited until the North London derby. But I'll ask him how he feels going into that game. I'm going to ask him how he feels about Conte, how he feels about the top 4 race. Any questions and talking points you lot got, feel free to chuck them at me during that stream. Will be on. Make sure if you're on Twitch and YouTube, you're getting involved in the voting. YouTube, I apologize because I'm asking you which winger you'd prefer, and I actually forgot to put Gakpo there. It's there for you lot on Twitch, people. So yeah, so far, well, no one's voted, so yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned. So yeah, if you're on Twitch, make sure you're doing that. I know you don't like gassing up your work rate, but it's the fuel that's taking you places. Big up, my guy. I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. It's the minimum though, my guy, man. And respectfully, I think I need a bit more than that in it. You can't just have talent or you get nowhere. You can't just have work rate. And it's not that I'm getting impatient. It's just like, I don't know. It's like Jadon Sancho at City, really. You just feel that, wow, it's good. You know, man could go and do everything. I feel like I have to find my Borussia Dortmund and things like that, if I'm completely honest with you. So, yeah, man, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. And I appreciate not only the comments you just said, Kay, but you was on Twitch earlier for our other live stream. Again, Without you lot support, it can't go anywhere. And as I always say, bro, I love sitting here and waffling about football day in, day out with you guys, but it would be rather pointless if no one was hearing it. So I really do appreciate it. Anywhere I go or don't go is going to obviously be down to myself, but it can't be achieved or done without you guys, man. So I appreciate the community we've built / building / continuing to build, etc. Smack the like button if you have not done such already, people. So yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned, really and truly. So yeah, large up you lot tuned in, man. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Tobes gives me jokes. He looks vexed on the AFTV watch along yesterday during Nigeria Ghana. Them lot were crazy, a bit OTT, but it was funny. Aye, man, it's country, innit? You can never be too OTT when it comes to your nation, especially Ghana, Nigeria on the best of days, let alone a World Cup place, let alone with. I mean, I'm not Ghanaian or Nigerian. If I had to support one, I'm going to pick Ghana because of Partey. We'd have a decision to make if Kanu was still about and we had, if we had a Ghanaian player with a Nigerian player at the same time. But I understand it, in it. And Twitter was, especially when you're not involved, like I'm not on either side. I was just seeing the jokes pre-game, post-game, and during the game just fly from both sides, man. Like, again, we man are saying people ain't got electricity. I can't like when Ghana got, and you've got to be able to take it, because when Ghana went out the AFCON, people were saying they're just good for dancing, and I was liking the ish talking the Ghanaians were doing, like golden generation, this, that, and the third. Yakubu's comments came back to haunt him, the Ghana must go back jokes were all flipped, it's all fun and games. And on a serious note, man, I hope Ghana go all the way as far as they can, because but there's a lot of other African nations, of course, but they're one of the representatives of Africa, really. And we all know when it comes to society, Africa is frowned upon. African folks are frowned upon. African football is frowned upon. So it'd be nice, man. And for a couple of these English lads, boy, hey, I bet Callum Hudson-Odoi is returning the Ghanaian FA calls now, So yeah, man, it was nice to see. And not just where Africa's concerned. Well, Senegal, Egypt, the same thing. But even over there in South America with the South American countries I've seen, it's now lovely to see passionate football fans in it. So yeah, man. And Partey scored as well. Big up DG. Missed the stream yesterday, but I love seeing your video with Righty. Black excellence. I appreciate that, man. Again, we keep working, man. Shout out to Righty. He's been there, done it. He's a legend, man. I just have to keep working so that I could get a small percentage of them accolades there, man. But we don't do this for accolades. I mean, everyone likes to win awards and do things. But I would say we're going into DG thoughts. When I wasn't nominated for the football blacklist 30 under 30, that's when I thought, what, fuck all awards, don't get it twisted. Once again, it's nice to be recognized and things like that, but fuck all of that, because respectfully, everybody's doing their own thing. When I looked at that list and looked at what some people were doing, it's like people are voting for their brethren. And respectfully, at the time, of course, you could find 30 people under 30 doing bits, but some of them names are... I don't know how my thing weren't there in it, but it is what it is, man. I can't lie. Africa, been done dirty with World Cup spots. Only 5 teams, unacceptable, man. I mean, it might be called the World Cup. We all know it's very much a Eurocentric thing, my guy. Like all of football, that's where it all is, really. So, yeah, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, make sure you're taking part in the voting. Twitch and YouTube, folks. Hit the like button as well. We still only got 25 likes. It's not great, but it could be a lot better. And let's not waste any time. I mean, I would bore you lot with all the footage we was watching of all our various players yesterday, but we done that on Twitch. Where is my timestamps? You spell SALIBA. Sorry, brain fart, people. Forgot how you spell SALIBA. SALIBA. Absolute brain pause there. How the hell do you spell SALIBA? The only battles worth winning is the battle within. Any award pales in comparison. Exactly, man. And you have to define what you want. Cam appreciative. I got there. Brain just paused, but Yeah, moving on with that, let's just dive straight into this. Let's start with the SALIBA thing. Now, every minute, according to what article or what sort of what side of bed these journalists wake up on, he's coming back to Arsenal. The plan is to integrate him. He's leaving. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He wants to keep it moving. As I keep saying, for me with SALIBA, everything. If I was SALIBA or his advisors, every option should be on the table. I wouldn't necessarily, even though I don't want it and I don't think it helps anyone, going out on loan again. Let's remember, despite the fact of him signing since 2019, despite the fact of him going from a real tried and untested youngster with blonde highlights against Saint Etienne to, this level 1 French international, he's still only 21. He's played 28 times, I believe, in Liga. He's got a solid, he's added some solid experience playing virtually every minute in a bunch of different systems under a good coach like Sao Paulo, performing in Europe, playing week in, week out. Hopefully we get a more confident player. Every option should be available to SALIBA. Coming and finally letting your Arsenal career kick on, going out on loan, potentially leaving permanently. SALIBA controls all the aces. For me, if I'm him, I don't sign a new deal until one, I'm given that you're telling me the plans for me, like, okay, for some reason, rightly or wrongly, didn't use me last year. Am I closer to what you want to see? If not, how do we move forward? And then words are everything. Balogun, we gassed him. Yo, bro, and I rate the club for doing it, Carl. That's money on the line. Yo, bro, you're gonna play. Signed a new deal, big song and dance. When you got past that, he weren't ready. Go out on loan. He was playing 23s. SALIBA, that's not going to help him, innit? Especially if you want to get a World Cup space potentially. Shout to Guendouzi, who's got a goal and an assist in his last 2 games for France as well, man. So it is where it is. So for me, I would love to see SALIBA integrated. I think the only people who should be upset about that is Gabriel and Ben White. And even that, we're meant to be a big club. There has to be competition. With the injection of assuming Arsenal qualify European competitions, we've got the FA Cup and the League Cup. We're gonna need everyone. I want Arteta to be given a headache. Ben White, money well spent. I would say Arteta would say. Gabriel, the same logic. They're part of the building blocks. What we're doing. SALIBA, go and give Arteta sleepless nights. Does he play 3 at the back? Does he move Ben White to right back? Does he not play you because them lot are doing their thing? Does he drop either one? We need them headaches. Same way we've got them kind of in the 10 role left and right wing. You got Smith Rowe, Martinelli, probably last in the pecking order, but Pepe, Saka's there. You've got Smith Rowe and Odegaard, and what happens there directly correlates. There used to be a time where obviously Aubameyang was here, and what we was doing specifically with Aubameyang and Lacazette had implications for a winger, because obviously if you're playing 2 up front, only one wide man can really get a place in the team in the formation we're playing. Obviously, Aubameyang people. So yeah, man. It is what it is. Well, it is, people, in that regards. Reading this article, shout Charles Watts. SALIBA dilemma. What next for 27 million start as Gunners talks loom? There's a lot of waffle, unfortunately, Charles. I want to get through to the basic of it. He's, South Africa, clean sheet as well. They won 5-0. Guendouzi also scored, and it was a terrific goal from Kylian Mbappe. Smack the like button. One love to the Twitch gang. So yeah, 2 appearances under his belt for France. Playing week in, week out. Returns a more confident player. If I'm Arteta, I'm saying, listen, Arteta, whatever you want from me, I'm ready now. My suggestion is he probably would have to be, unless a madness happens, you'd probably have to be patient for Gabriel and Ben White and then take your opportunity. And you've got 3 of them, man, who are all fighting for World Cup places. You can see, well, I'm not going to say it's boosted him because Ben White went to the Euros before being an Arsenal player. But for me, since he's played for Arsenal and playing well, Southgate's taking him in a bit more. To a degree, Ramsdale the same. SALIBA called up on a technicality because of Pavard, but called up. You're not going to get called up if they're not monitoring you. There's that. Gabriel finally making inroads in the Brazil team, and it's a shame he couldn't play for Brazil. I say a shame because the one thing that is more important than football is family, isn't it? A lot of things. And he's, his wife's giving birth or potentially going to give birth. So yeah, hopefully that's smooth. So there's a lot of decisions to make, really. And even if you look at how Southgate has used Ben White in the last couple of games, that is an option. You remember at Brighton, Ben White primarily playing right back and things like that. We need options. We need problems. SALIBA said, it's an honor for me to wear this shirt after the Ivory Coast game. I had to stay concentrated because the crowd cheered a lot when I came on, but I thank them for giving me confidence. I would love to see England games at the Emirates, especially now that we've actually got players in the England team. I'm going to keep this shirt and not wash it, that's for sure. You know, make sure you frame it up or it might smell out your yard, but it is what it is. Shout out to Saliba. He's doing what he's doing in France. And I do think the club have plans for him because they tried to loan him out to England and things like that. He's made 28 appearances. So yeah, he's doing what he needs to do. They're in the quarterfinals of the Conference League. He's played right back, which against Nice he got stressed out. But yeah, he's learning really and truly. He said, I don't know my future. This was on the 23rd. I don't know my future. There are 2 months left. 2 months left. The most important thing is to qualify for the Champions League and go as far as possible in the Conference League. I think there'll be discussions afterwards at the end of May, beginning of June with Arsenal and Marseille. We'll decide at that time. But I've never hid that I felt good here. Continuing would not be a bad idea. I know the city, my teammates, my coach, but it's not just up to me. And it's not. And football is full of turbulence. You know, Saliba's got a lot of things he can. Hopefully it's at Arsenal. Sources close to the player allegedly have confirmed to Goal that initial discussions with Arsenal will take place in the next few weeks. So him and Saka's new deal to go with Martinelli are priorities, really. Saliba with a fan. I mean, I really do hope you have a career, a smidget of Varane's away from banter. Saliba's camp will use these talks to try and learn what Arsenal's plans are for the defender ahead of the summer, which is true. As things stand, a new contract has not yet been discussed, but should the Gunners decide they want Saliba to be part of Mikel, they'll offer him a new deal when formal talks begin. Given how content he is in Marseille, it is far from clear whether the defender will be any rush to sign any extension. Obviously, Arsenal fans are exciting. Arteta, as you know, we've spoken about this before, but just that sometimes it's difficult to explain or understand after the money the club has spent trying to bring him in, to send him on loan, and the big song and dance with the announcement vid and him wearing Arsenal shirts as a youth. But a lot of things have happened to him, which is true. He's a long-term player for us and we need to protect him as well. And giving him 3 or 4 games is not enough. And that's true. Go out and play. He's very happy to go there now. Hopefully he can enjoy his football and be ready for us next season. That was Mikel Arteta earlier on in the season. Arsenal's stance has always been that Saliba remains part of their long-term plans. Sources at the club point to the fact there was no permanent option included for Marseille to make his loan move permanent, as proof they'll offer him an opportunity to succeed in North London. And, you know, he's made 45 tackles, 37 interceptions. I don't like this dribbled pass stat. I think it's bullshit, not just for Saliba, but in general, because it, you know, I know technically stats might not say people have dribbled past Van Dijk, but I've seen somebody go past Van Dijk and players like this. So what is the dribbling thing? It's dead. 10 clean sheets, that's good. And I can't lie, I don't think Marseille defend well. They've got the statistics to back it up, but they're all susceptible to switching off and brain farts. I'll be real, in which Saliba's part of a calamity. I do think when he comes back to Arsenal, he'll have to unlearn some bad habits, both what he's picked up under Sao Paulo and just at Marseille in general, and due to his age, and have to learn some good habits. Ben White and Gabriel are firmly our first choice people. You know, Arsenal probably will make our money back if it was that. Arteta said, I think there is room to accommodate him, White, and Gabriel. So based on what Arteta has said, this gives you a bit of confidence. When asked if all 3 of these young centre-backs could feature in the same squad, he said, we'll have to sit down and decide what the next step is. With talks due to begin soon, that moment for that decision is now drawing closer. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens where Saliba's concerned, man. Smash the like button and we hope he gets an opportunity, which I think he will. But at the same time, I think if Arsenal offered their bread back for him, they'll let him go. But everything's up for debate. So, yeah, man. Smash the like button or unexpected high bills. Don't know why people think it's an either or thing with White, Saliba and Gabriel. Need a minimum of 4 top quality centre-backs if we're going to achieve the things we want. Tell them again. I reckon there's a Buki clause in Saliba's deal that if Saliba makes X amount of Arsenal performances before 2023-24, then X amount is due to be paid. Typical Arsenal, wouldn't surprise me. Remember Ox? I mean, there was them rumours around Ox, but then, you know, money due after certain appearances for a club is not uncommon in players' contracts. So we'll have to see, man. Saliba, Varane, any day. We'll have to see, man. I rate the shamelessness, but we'll have to see, man. We'll actually have to see. Saliba should get the number 2 shirt. Hopefully. Love for the super chat, my guy. Big up DG. I can't see Saliba staying after the disrespect he's received from Arteta over the last 2 years. They even gave his shirt number to White. We're gonna have to see. I think everything is debatable, if I'm honest. Big up DG. Love the stuff with Uncle Righty, my Palace and Arsenal hero. Appreciate that, my guy. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And you do, man. You know, you've got John Stones at City, you've got John Stones, Laporte, and Ruben Diaz. And then after that, I don't think Ake's as good as them, but you'd imagine Ake's a fairly competent backup. You need that, really. You know, I would love to be in the situation where you have Saliba, Ben White, Gabriel fighting across the many different ways they could all play, or not playing, because nobody's given a divine right. If your form's been meaty, you should not be playing. Simple as that. And then after that, maybe if you could have a Tomiyasu with the ability to play at centre-back, or, you know, if you could find a centre-back that just when called upon, he does a job, whether that's Holding or someone else is another thing. But I do think I don't think Arsenal have necessarily handled Saliba right. I don't think Arsenal have necessarily did anything wrong, if I'm completely honest with you. So yeah, man, really and truly. Let's look at this transfer news, man, where you've obviously got Raphinha, Lacazette, new deal rumors have re-emerged, all of these sort of things. Let me know your opinions on the wingers. Anthony has a higher ceiling, more potential. Liverpool got Van Dijk, you get it. You know, Joe Gomez a bit of a forgotten man, but if called upon, with Trent's injury, might get a run at right back. You know, unless Van Dijk's form drops off a cliff, he's playing, and rightly so. Matip doing quite well. For me, it's only in the last 12, 18 months Matip is getting somewhat credit he deserves. Like, even if you go back to the Liverpool game at Anfield, where, if I remember correctly, did Chelsea get a red card in that game? Can't even remember. Or Liverpool, someone got a red card in that game. But if you lot remember, obviously, respectfully to Matip, Van Dijk versus Lukaku at the time was probably the shirt seller thing. But Matip pocketed him. You know, you've got Matip and him. Konate's just been bought, making inroads, proving him. Still got a lot to work on, but still proving himself. You need competent options, man. Arsenal claim they want this, but then we get scared. Remember, certain fans said, don't buy Odegaard because we have Smith Rowe. What would our midfield be if when Smith Rowe was injured and Odegaard lost his form? What would we be in? It's a squad game, man. And fans need to recognize that. There's a very fine line, but yeah, man. What's your opinion on the light beam shone at Salah, I think you mean, taking his penalty? Boy, it was shaggery, but yeah, man. To be fair, whether he comes back or not, I don't see him at the club in the next 2 years with Real and them man cooling. It's nice to have players that are wanted by them teams. At least we can make profit. Anthony is on a different level than Rodrygo and Raphinha. Some of the way you lot are spelling this kalam, boy. Like Austin Dusty Myth, man. Never seen him, but I just don't think he's there, man. Jeremy Pino for 30 mil over Raphinha. Appreciate low Bomo. Reece James got a red card that game. So, yeah, man, Matip had a good game. Exactly. Competitive environment breeds winners. We have looked like a nursery over the years. And right now, I think there is competitiveness. I think finally Arsenal Football Club are looking a bit professional. You know, people are unhappy about not playing. Certain people are going to have to fix their futures in the summer. But I do like the fact that there's togetherness. You know, when Leno comes in, you're seeing them love it. You know, when Lacazette finally scores, you're seeing them do it. Lacazette earned his place in the team, and Martinelli's taking his chance when his chances eventually come. Just a few months ago, man, we're saying, does Arteta rate him? There's a 38-game calendar. And when you look at, you know, we've got a young squad. Some of these young players have showed abnormal consistency levels, and I applaud them for it. But if you look from August till now, every month there's different heroes. I would say in the last 2 games before the international break, Odegaard kind of dropped off a bit. But Odegaard was coming into his own. You go back a few months, that weren't the case. Remember, there was a time Smith Rowe came in ahead of him. They were saying Smith Rowe kills flow among the Brighton away around the period for Brighton away. Now look, you remember the North London derby, the heat that Saka and Smith Rowe in particular were catching. You know, Partey's looked a shadow of his former self. Where when I've said, is he even part of the best, strongest 11 for Arsenal? Now look at him doing his thing. You know, man said the same about Tierney. Ramsdale's taking his chance. You know, this is what you need, especially when we've got a young and volatile squad. Other people need to stand up to be counted, man. It is what it is. If Saliba leaves, hopefully not. I want to see an academy centre back get a chance. Rekic, try a thing. Clark, Ballard, decent, but I think it's a myth. I don't know anything, but I think it's a myth for all the names she said. I honestly, Ballard, I think you should probably, keep it moving and go and play some football. We let people down so bad, man. We didn't let him. Mavropanos just don't look dirty, really. He looks like he could have a job, but I'm not going to critique the club for the Mavropanos thing. Did you get an Arsenal shirt signed by Ian Wright? I lacked, bro. Lacked, and more lacked. Don't know how, but again, I guess it was early in the morning. All I needed to do was bring a book and bring, a shirt. I didn't do that, but at least we got the people deleted thing, hey. So yeah, let's call that. Yeah, keep your opinions coming, people. As usual, appreciative to everything. Don't forget that like button, though, that good old like button. And appreciate the Twitch gang as well, man. And as I said, one thing I do like is that people aren't sulking at this club. Like, they're just going on. Even Pepe the other day, like, I would love to be playing, but we're winning, innit? It's my only problem is, them times there when Willian is starting week in, week out, we're not doing what we're doing right now. Then I'm like, okay, Reece Nelson, Pepe, Martinelli, maybe other people. But when I can't lie, when we're winning, I don't give a shit about everybody's individual stuff. Like, we need to win. That's why I've been very critical with fans are like, oh, it's a bit unfair on Pepe. Maitland-Niles deserves games, bro. Do man want to do this play crash thing or do man want to win? Because you can't have everything. You can't have consistent rotation, everybody happy, and 3 points. We need balance. And is it any coincidence? We have more or less played the same team. There's more consistency. Relationships are building versus the volatility we used to do. And when we're making changes now, you're not really seeing the drop-off. That's the next step for Arsenal to go to, beyond obviously bringing in a number 8 and a striker minimum. We need to be able to do little things like, right now it's Gabriel and Ben White. Maybe Saliba comes in. If something happens to Tomiyasu, Ben White or whoever moves to right back, and there's not too much of a drop-off in quality. These are things you're seeing. You got to remember, we stripped this club back to basics last summer. That's the next step. We've got I'd say a first choice 9. We need to make that 11 with an 8 and a striker. Then the next step is obviously, having a squad. Then obviously it's not really that deep. I'm not really happy with. I'm upset how we went out of the Carling Cup. I'm devastated with our performance in the FA Cup for the second year in a row now under Mikel Arteta. I'll be real with you lot. But right now we're just in one competition. Next year we're gonna have Bear. When we've played Leicester, when we've played City at home. We've been beneficial. They've had 2 games than us. It's not always going to be 1 game a week, and we're going to have to learn that, really. And for me, more so next season, you're going to have to be a bit more strategic with Smith Rowe, with Saka, with a lot of these players. Even some man that might not even look fatigued might even be tired. So yeah, man, we're going to have to see what's going on in that regards. But yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know why some Arsenal fans are scared of competition. Like, bro, if you're doing your job, you got nothing to worry about. And it just means, too easy. It's been too easy to pick this team. Like, I'm Saka FC. Anytime you lot try and say Saka needs rest, I say to you, listen, you drop Saka, you might not win the game. I'd love to be in a position where Saka's got Saka and Smith Rowe have done well, but they've got to look over their shoulder if they're not doing things. Because while it's been a great time for them to get the 7 and 10, when we remove the romance behind that and big up them, you got a target on your back. You're at the top. The only way is down. It's number 7 and number 10. These are roles Arsenal should always be looking, not necessarily bringing them in, but always looking, can you improve? There's no other. You don't, unless Arsenal do something collectively and win stuff, you're number 7 and 10 for Arsenal Football Club. Come on now. So let's see what's going on in that regards, people. But time will tell. Nice to actually have good problems for once, rather than we're saying certain man should play because he's shit, but he's less shitter than this guy. He makes mistakes, but he makes 10 mistakes a game. This one makes 5 mistakes a game. Let's go with the 5-1. We've come a long way, man. We've not achieved nothing yet, but we've come a long way. DG, hear me out. Oh, Lord. Ian Parker Campbell, you're always here. I've only seen the hear me out thing. Please don't say something colossal. Because I think this will happen. Say Arteta moves White to midfield to be a replacement for Xhaka and then incorporates Saliba. Ooh, I guess the option of being able to use Ben White, I'm not against. But if you're talking building blocks like foundations, like now with Odegaard / Smith Rowe in the 10, I know other things can happen. Partey's found his feet, and now Ben White in midfield. I'm not for it, bro. Bit of a myth that. We'll never understand why players getting properly vexed about not starting. Look at City, that's how you win titles these days. I don't really see people sulking. In previous years, I've seen man sulking at this football club. It seems like people are getting on with it. All that matters is the collective. Then we could talk about individuals. All that matters is Arsenal getting top 4 and beyond that. That's the collective. No one cares about, I think I should play 38 games. I should get 10 more. Cedric looked like he was going to leave. You've taken your chance. Now, I think we should upgrade on you. I don't think you should be part of it next year. But that's what I'm talking about. The opportunity comes, take it. And you might not lose your spot. That being said, hopefully Tomiyasu is ready for Crystal Palace, regardless of if they have Zaha and these guys, because you need to play Reed Bay. But shout out to Cedric, for example. Nice to see Smith Rowe got some. Would you loan out Lokonga? No, he's gonna get him, Tavares. They're gonna Pepe if he's still here. They're gonna get football next year. And nah, man, Lokonga, I'd still keep him about. Now, there might be a conversation to have because if you could get 2 midfielders this summer, I'm on it. Like 2 midfielders, Partey. And when I say midfielders, I mean pivot. Like you're playing in the pivot. So I'd say that's Partey, 2 midfielders, Odegaard. Nah, Lokonga get game time, man. Talking sense, unlike Curtis. That's a bit harsh. Shout out Curtis, man. He talks a lot of sense, man. That's a bit harsh, man. No need to throw shade, man. Big up, C. Less of that, man. That's my guy. Look at the comp between Smith Rowe and Martinelli, and to a lesser degree, Smith Rowe and Odegaard. They rage each other's games exactly, and they all Smith Rowe and Odegaard link up well together, man. I know you guys probably want more signings, but if I was you, I wouldn't want too much change going into next season. 2 signings max, in my opinion. I'll take your word of that. Dead that. Number 8 times 2, striker times 2, right back needed. It's about complementing the side. And I would say where number 8 and striker are concerned, raising it to the next level, I'm not too sure I'll back that, man. Would you rather Raphinha or Anthony? Brazilian bias, either one. Probably more Anthony. But that's because I guess I'm kind of used to seeing Raphinha. Anthony's like a shinier toy. He's 22 years of age. Yeah, man, he just my guy, really. But shout out Raphinha because he's doing his thing same way. Oh gosh, what happened there? That's jarring. Sorry, people. Google Chrome moving mad. How do I put a tab back in? Like it's just come out. Go back in, thank you. That was one of the weirdest flexes I've seen in a hot second. 64 likes, man. You lot are violating. Yeah, man. We spoke about Martinelli on Twitch. If Cedric stays, I don't know what that means. If we go to grab another right back, as long as Tommy stays fit. I mean, if Cedric can keep doing what he's doing, fair play. But, while I'm giving you ratings for your last 5 or so appearances, you've played about 50 odd times for Arsenal Football Club. Am I going to delete the other games? I don't know if I can trust you from August. I just want to look at my squad. I trust you, man, from August to May. Like, there's people can drop off form and the rest of it, but they're the ones I believe in. Not guys that are, proving me wrong and all of this. And hot and cold dons. I think we've got hot and cold dons. Xhaka is hot and cold. Pepe is hot and cold. Lacazette is hot and cold. Cedric is hot and cold. Pablo Marie, David Luiz, these are hot and cold, man, or were hot and cold, man. I need greater consistency. And and what I mean by that is, as well, if you can't play well, make sure your performances don't drop off a level. We could get to a level where the minimum is 5s. Some man here are going to play 10 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It's way too volatile. I need certain base levels of consistency. Trust, bring all the wavy ballers. Would you take Rashford if so? I mean, I wouldn't mind him. It all depends. That's where, again, United having basically contracted for another 2 years. They've got 2023 and an option. I wouldn't move heaven and earth. I just think Rashford would be a bit of a myth. The finances, the fee they'll probably ask for, which probably be over 50. Yeah, man. Probably leave that one there. I rate Gakpo, but he looks like he'll struggle in the league. It looks a little physical for him. Gakpo kid is awesome. The goal striking rate he has is good. Raphinha or Anthony, I think I answered that. I'm gonna go Anthony. Has Nelson got a future at Arsenal? I mean, contracted until 2023. Not exactly pulling up any trees at Feyenoord. I would love for Reece Nelson to have an opportunity, but for him, it probably looks like maybe you should go somewhere where you can play for a couple of years. You're not going out on loan 1 year, not involve the other, and just settle down your roots and make progress from there. I badly hope Nelson can bag a spot, but it's looking like a myth. Off topic, Lobo Mob TV, appreciative to you for subscribing via Amazon Prime on Twitch. I appreciate that, my guy. I know we're on a YG thing transfer wise, but I would try a thing for Verratti. Would be good to add some certified Champions League. Yeah, Verratti's a myth. No way in hell we signing for Arsenal over PSG, man. I wouldn't say Cedric's bad, but I just don't really. It's not that I don't have faith in you. I don't know what I'm getting. That you've proven us wrong. You're doing well. I'll give you your credit. But in August, I just want a bit more confirmations. I want to know this striker can get me 15, 20 goals. I want to have faith in certain defenders. I want to know you can get me goals and assists. You can do this. You can do that. I don't think there's enough confirmation. Raphinha has Premier League experience now, so would be a better option. I don't know if necessarily Premier League experience solely makes you a better option, but I hear that. We need to improve the starting 11 for next season and add some depth, then build overall squad depth over the next 2 years. And with consistency, we should be able to mount a serious title challenge. I mean, let's learn to walk before we can run. Let's try and qualify for the Champions League consistently, try and handle these high pressure moments, and then you can talk about winning leagues and them things. It's a squad game. The minute you're out here in multiple tournaments, got to have a good second 11. Look at West Ham. And I would say you've got to have players that can come in and the quality does not fall off a cliff. Because there was one game, Ben White went right back. I think it might have been, I don't think it was Southampton, but I think it was, you didn't see too much of a drop off. But then there was a next game he had to play right back, and you saw what we lost with Ben White in the center of our defense, especially when it comes to not necessarily defending in that game, but bringing it out from the back and things like that. And already at this moment in time, we over-rely on that. We over-rely on Gabriel and Ben White to bring it out from defense because we have not got really that number 8 who can pick passes, man. Is David up there in terms of potential strikers for you? Tier 2. I would love these Lautaro Martinez's. I know Osimhen's not going to get too much love based on the last 24 to 48 hours, but Martinez, Osimhen, Nunes, these sort of guys. And then if you could, a Leao, a David, Calvert-Lewin, somewhat Tony, somewhat depending on fees for a lot of these names, someone that could be used in the squad, give us something different, maybe even force their way into the lineup with the tier 1 striker I'm looking for, pick up the paces if their form is lacking or needs to be rested and all of these sort of things really. So it's one of them. You can gain Premier League experience quickly. It all depends, man. Cedric's Premier League experience, it's all relative to what you're buying. How many years would you say we're behind Liverpool, Chelsea, City? I mean, quite a few years away, isn't it? City have been winning the league for how many years and dominating. Liverpool, again, it all depends when Klopp moves and the after plan, but they seem equipped. We're a long way away from them, really and truly, And Chelsea, they've won the Champions League in the Prem. We're a minute away from them. Until we can answer what we're getting consistently from Arsenal in 5 to 10 games and over a course of a season, a long way away from them. And most importantly, you look at those 3 clubs, maybe not so much Liverpool, because Liverpool fans always drawing out FSG. It's the mentality of those above. Now, I have complete confidence in Arteta's ability to want to win stuff. Whether he's able to do it's another thing. I think Edu's got ambition, but I don't know his ability to get signings in. I don't know how much Kroenke wants to be a winner. I don't know. If you could link up with anyone in the team, who would it be out of interest? Allow the groupie thing, but what is in interviews and that? It's bare inexperience, man. Come on, man. The Halem boys, I would say. Saka, Smith Rowe, any of that, really, I would say. Kieran Tierney, Ramsdale. Yeah, man. Blacker. I don't know. How can you both? How can you catch them? We finished miles of Chelsea the last couple of years, really. So It don't kills me to say it, but yeah, man. It's a long way away from all of that, man. Really. Let's just focus on what we're doing, man. Odegaard. I hope Willett can do us a favor, man. I hope Willett can do us a favor in that game. Ramsdale loves Caribbean food. Big up to him, man. The bar's on the floor for that. DG, what do we need to take us to the next level? Who would you add that would have an instant impact? The names we've said would impact us. The players that would impact us right now, we're not going to obtain in it like them higher caliber players. So we need to go for that intermediate. Just keep doing what we're doing. More consistency, more ability. I would say a number 8 and a number 9 goes some sort of way. And then it's just about doing what we're doing and making it the minimum, because on one hand, I love what we're doing. If I look at it without emotion, the bar's on the floor. We're dramatically better than what Arsenal used to be, but the bar's on the floor, really and truly, and I do think fans shut up about things when we win. There's a lot of question marks in our game. We need to improve our game management, just greater, higher levels of consistency throughout the campaign. In short, that's it. You do that, then you can start talking about champs and whatnot. And again, we're in a high pressure scenario right now. Whatever we say, there's 10 games left. We were shit in August. We've been doing all right since a point. That's all good narratives. All that matters is where you start in August and where you finish in May. If you can see this out and get Champions League, etc., regardless of if that was the plan for the summer or not, then you can talk about other things. The next step is can you qualify again? Can you get to the latter stages? If you can't do it when the pressure's on, then you lot can forget about catching Liverpool, City, Chelsea. You can forget about winning stuff. Just take time. You got to remember these men are young as well. Just allow them to do their thing, man. I would love João Felix, but it's probably a myth. So that's what we required, man. Really. In my humble opinion, this summer is so crucial. Where have we heard that before? You don't want to be eyeing major moves with the World Cup tax being slapped on players. True. That will make next January interesting, really. Just joined now. How was meeting Righty? As well.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. It's all right. It's all right, I guess. Big up, Ian. I would love Matheus Nunes and Darwin Nunes at the carpet, my dude. 100%. You got that Ian right, man. Come on. No one is on the Kroenke out vibe. The next loss in the vote should be on form again. I mean, Kroenke can still bust out, but yeah, man. It is what it is. Let's see what's going on. Keep your opinions coming. You lot on top form across YouTube and Twitch. Big up, you lot. Don't forget, 6 p.m. I'm going to have Tapping Togs. We're going to speak about top 4 and whatnot, man. Can't wait to see which random players as well. At least we're Colombia not there, so there's going to be no occasional, James Rodriguez volleys and history rewritten, man. Is that skit replacing the goal for your intro, DG? How you mean, dog? How you mean? Replace what? Replace you? Replace how? It's normal, man. Meeting here, right? Normal. Scoring goals, normal, man. It's normal, man. All in the day's work, mate. All in the day's work. All in the day's work. I try. Was that Vinicius Jr.? Hey, big up you lot, man. Do you think we should go for Donny van der Beek, or is it a myth? You could try, but he's a bit soft, isn't it? Like we don't need any more soft youths, man. Like again, I'm very much a Wenger baby in that I'm all for arms around players, protecting them and things like that. But there's soft youths at the same time. I just want guys that when you have a shit game, you were shit. It don't mean you're shit, but you was shit. When you have a good game, it don't mean you're amazing, but you was good. I don't really like these volatile players because I'll be real. Arsenal are not where they're meant to be. Arsenal haven't been where they're meant to be. You either go forward, stagnate. If you're not going forward, you're going to stagnate. And as we've seen, it can get worse. We used to stagnate, be a top 4 consistent club, nothing else. We then became a top 8. I don't necessarily care about it. The gloves are off in August, and I meant that. I genuinely don't care about people's individual situations. I don't care if he feels he should get a new contract. I can have my opinion. I don't care about contract. You should get a new contract. You shouldn't. I don't care if you think you're playing enough. Get with it, which all that matters is Arsenal. And I don't have time for Arteta to have to try and think of how to get the best out of individuals, how to get the best out of the collective, and deal with if my man is feeling that he's good or not. By all means, if you're a world-class mavericky talent and you're the best in our team, I'm all for that. But I haven't really got that for other players. It's long, man. We've got young players now. Give them all the time. Let's find a couple players that are just with it. You know, like I like with Tomiyasu, he's just with it. You can tell that he's just with it. Ramsdale, he's with it. He will hold his hands up if he's had a bad game. He's just with it. I can't take the soft youth thing anymore. Like there's a life is harsh, you know. You either feel sorry for yourself or you get back on this, and we need to realize that. And I think we have, really and truly. Calvin Phillips, Ruiz, or Telemans. I'd prefer Ruiz out of the list. Oh, he wouldn't be gas for meeting Ian Wright, man. Come on, man. Guy's a legend, bro. Did you quit playing football? No, I'm still a Sunday League footballer. Gassing myself. It's normal, bro. Fuck. Like, big up Toby. That's the coach. He says not against this right back. What do you think of? Hey, I'd rather hit and hope. But you got to hit and hope. Certain man can't hit it, let alone hope. But DG, what do you think about Ozil being dropped last week? Boy, I don't know what to say, man. You know, certain things just keep following you. Big fan of Ozil, but there's no smoke without fire. Without looking at the micro of it, it's another club, another manager where this thing has happened. The same way man might look at Aubameyang and say, well, maybe it's an Arteta thing, something else. You probably say, maybe Ozil was wrong and Arteta was right. That's what fans have to say in it. So it is what it is, man. No, Charlie's the one who played the parts, mate. Who's your man for captain? There's a lot of good people who could be captain. I like Ramsdale throwing his hat into. I'd say for me, between Ramsdale, Tierney, I would say Ramsdale, Tierney for me. But I think Ramsdale, Tierney, I actually feel Ben White and Gabriel could throw their hats into the ring. Odegaard could throw his hat into the ring. Probably missing out a couple. Xhaka could probably re-throw his hat into the ring. But I would say I just want everyone to be a leader like they're doing. But I would say for me, probably Tierney and then Ramsdale. What would you say is the best formation for Arsenal? 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. Personally, you would like us to be able to play a couple of seasons, man. I mean, systems. Partey for seniority? Nah. Yeah, we spoke about. To be honest, I don't really care about Ozil's thing. Like, I love Ozil as a footballer, but when it comes to Arsenal, I just don't give a shit. Like, it's Fenerbahce's problem now, isn't it? I just couldn't care less. Like, we genuinely couldn't care less. Like, it's just actually good for you, man. Like, is where it is. But yeah, finally, let's look at some more of this transfer news. One love to you lot tuned in, people. Keep hitting the like button. Again, Twitch, you're doing amazing. You lot just keep doing your job. Don't worry about nothing else. Let's look at some of this transfer news. Where should we start, man? Let's start with, what's this? Let's start with Rodrygo, really. Apparently, Real Madrid are working hard at planning for next season. Apparently, Rodrygo could leave, really and truly. You know, apparently they're looking for a fee in the region of £40 million, and the Premier League is his likeliest destination. He's been primarily linked with Liverpool. This last 24 hours, he's been linked with Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, Manchester United, and I actually think City, you know. So make of that what you will, people. But starting from back to front, Arsenal has been linked with a move for Real Madrid star Rodrygo as they continue to search for attackers. And I would say when you're seeing Gakpo links and Rodrygo, I mean, is there smoke without fire in the sense of, you know, we're looking for a winger, whether that means Pepe's moving on or Martinelli will be moved up front. I don't know, but maybe we are looking for a winger and a striker as well. A winger in addition to a striker, and what I'd hope is a number 8. You know, I'm taking Rodrygo, really. You know, Brazil bias, 21 years of age, not really doing much in the capital, but people used to look at Vinicius as damage because now, look, I would take him, 40 million euros here for him, really and truly. You know, he's still in the Brazil squad and whatnot. You know, he's boy, to be joining Real Madrid at 18 years of age, 19, whatever, you know, man, look at you like you're finished at 21. It's probably a myth signing for these clubs. Nonetheless, he's done it. He could go for 40 million, people, which I'm all for. So yeah, I don't mind signing him at all. I was just reading this. I don't like the newspaper, but allegedly Chelsea are joining Real Madrid in the pursuit of Gnabry. We all know his contract runs out until 2023, so that's just one to monitor. If there's a chance, bring him back. Guendouzi obviously scored for France, which you don't care about. Arsenal renew interest in Premier League midfielder, enter race for Leeds star people. Now, one thing at a time before, I've got another thing for Raphinha, but Arsenal want to buy Telemans this summer while they've entered the race to sign Leeds winger Raphinha. Now, we've spoken to Telemans' agent allegedly, so there's nothing new here. Telemans has said he wants to join a team within the Champions League, people. In relation to Raphinha, I can tell you that Arsenal also asked for information about Raphinha of Leeds. Barcelona are leading the race for Raphinha, but also Arsenal asked for information for Raphinha. They are not leading the race. They're looking for that kind of player. So Cody Gakpo is a player they are following, but also Raphinha is a player they like. But it's really complicated because Barcelona are leading the race, people says this article. Let's actually, because we mentioned that, where are we going? Let's start from back to front. That start with Nunes. No, man. Where is the Raphinha thing? Here we go, Raphinha. Arsenal asked for information on Raphinha transfer as part of two-man winger shortlist. Probably going to mention Gakpo, but Arsenal are understood to have asked for information on Raphinha ahead of the summer transfer window. Blah, blah, blah. Allegedly, Barcelona have opened talks, tabling an opening offer of 29 million. Leeds will not entertain a sale that at that price because it falls below their valuation. And we've also been linked with Gakpo as well. And it kind of the same comments we just saw. It's been said there, people. Apparently, Victor Orta has said on Raphinha, fortunately, Raphinha's career management is led by a top-level player, Deco. He knows how to handle it. I've had several conversations with Deco. He helps. Deco, there are others who don't. Deco has helped. Deco knows that the goal of the player is to save the team and stay in the Premier League. Everything that is of the future will come. Raphinha has no clause if we stay in the Premier League, by the way. In that sense, the player and I looked each other in the face and we have now said there's only one goal. That is to save Leeds United. Boy. So we'll have to see what's going on there. And as stated, once again, there's the same comments for you guys. Arsenal and Tottenham learn Benfica eye-watering Darwin Nunes transfer demands. The 22-year-old Uruguayan has 20 league goals in 22 appearances. He's on fire. Arsenal alleged, well, that's bumped up the price from 65 million euros yesterday. Apparently, you have to pay up to 127 million if they want to sign Nunes. Bro. I don't even know read no more, but apparently, according to Sports Witness, let's see exactly where this is, man. It's been reported. Well, scrolling all the way down. The first is about the price, pointing that Darwin is currently protected by a release clause worth 150 million euros. So again, they probably not going to get that. It said Benfica demand 80 million to let him go this summer. Apparently, there's a sell-on clause owed to Almeria, which regarding the agent who will handle Darwin Nunes transfer, there are interesting claims. It's well known that George Mendes has been trying to work with the player, especially because the contract between the striker and his current representative is expiring this summer. So George Mendes, again, we have heard he's been trying to get him out. He's been trying to get him into Spurs. Spurs, United, and Arsenal all fighting for my man. Boy, apparently there's also a document from Benfica, which gives him the right to 10% of their profit if selling the player before the end of June. So he has good reason to get a transfer done soon. Tottenham and other interested clubs should be aware of that. So yeah, it seems quite techie where he is concerned, people. So it's absolutely brazy, people. I don't know about none of that, but Arsenal must cough up 59 million to convince Inter Milan to sell Lautaro Martinez. We've heard this before. They want the baller. It is what it is. I mean, if they really want 59 million euros and Arteta's done his due diligence, then get it done. Wasn't he meant to sign a new contract and whatnot? Arsenal have approached Martinez's agents over a potential deal this summer. However, the Premier League giants have been told they must pay at least 59 million for his services. Arsenal have listed the Inter Milan striker as a possible target for the summer. They face competition from Atletico Madrid. And didn't Spurs... Well, Spurs have actually agreed deals for Dybala and Lautaro Martinez only to see it fall through. And at some point in the summer, we're only going to have Balogun as our first choice striker, as these lot are keeping it moving. Arsenal are eager to sign the 24-year-old after watching him excel. He's got 16 goals in 39 this season. Arsenal have reportedly contacted the player's agents to discuss a potential deal. Little has come from their advances, and it's not really the time to talk about deals. He's contracted until 2026. It's mid-season. Inter Milan are firmly in the title race, so now is not the time for transfers. So when you look at Saka's new deal, Saliba's new deal, Telemans, Jonathan David, Arthur Melo, people we hear Edu spoken to, Martinez, Darwin Núñez, Calvert-Lewin, things are happening in the background, indirect talks, but can't really see it in it. So it is what it is where this is concerned, people. We'll have to see in the summer. What's this? Well, we already know that in relation to these two. Let's close that. Once again, people, we've been linked with Sinistera. You know, the 22-year-old has 18 goals and 11 assists with Feyenoord in all comps. And he's drawing interest from Napoli as well as Arsenal. From what I've seen, he's a decent little player. And again, I can't expand because Google Translate's made a mess of that. But we've been linked with him, innit? Arsenal are preparing their opening proposal to extend Bukayo Saka's contract in the coming months. Plan hasn't. Saka is really happy with his Arsenal life. What is this, people? You know, Arsenal set a date for talks over exit of unbelievable star Kyle Archer. Fucking hell, you're lying, man. Arsenal will sit down with Real Betis at the end of the season to discuss a permanent move for Hector Bellerin. Long story short, talks will start at the close of the campaign over his farewell. The right back has enjoyed a new lease of life there, and he talks like he's actually fully left Arsenal. He's made 35 appearances, people, 32 starts from 58 games in all comps. Happy for you, Bellerin. Enjoy your life back in your homeland. We can't move forward with you. Keep it moving. We all love a revival story. He's contracted until 2023. Who knows? His future might not be done, but move on now, innit? Like, let's just get some peas and keep it moving. Simple as that. Pardon me, talks will take place, which we can talk as much as we talk, but things need to happen, innit? We've spoken about Saliba. Arsenal could offer Lacazette new short-term deal. We've already spoken about this many times, but as reported by L'Equipe, Arsenal could offer 30-year-old Alexander Lacazette a new short-term deal with his current contract set to expire at the Premier League club in the summer. So, yeah, Lyon and Barcelona once again have been linked with him, people. What's all of this? Highly thought of Bundesliga expert into Germany. Derek Rye has claimed that Leno is someone who is highly thought of back in Germany. Of course, he's highly rated in his homeland, and I'm sure we have a lot of admirers, people. He has been there for a while now at Arsenal. He was at Leverkusen. He is still highly thought of. One thing Germany does pretty well is producing goalkeepers. We can see because now, you know, there's 4 people trying to go to the World Cup in the goalkeeping spots. Leno right now is out of the squad. Smack the like button if you're following on YouTube, people. I'm not sure I can visualize at the moment, and I haven't seen him linked with any particular German club. I think he'll end up at Bayern on the bench, really. I don't visualize one club that would say, yes, I want to get Leno back into Germany, and we're not going to get our bread back on Leno, if I'm honest with you. In fact, who knows, really? Hopefully Ramsdale's injury is blessed, but it might be something. If you look at all the big clubs, they are fairly well off. Leverkusen are maybe could upgrade. I think it's one to watch. More than anything, I'm not aware of one German club putting all their eggs in Leno's basket, as good as he is and as credible as he's viewed in Germany. So we'll have to see, man. Leno's going to, if you want to go to the World Cup, you're going to have to get your hustle on. We've already seen with Rodrygo. We've spoken on Darwin Núñez. So, yeah, man, it's quite a dead day where Arsenal are concerned, people. So, yeah, man, that's Arsenal's transfer news. We have one last. Let's type in Arsenal on Google and see what else we've got. But, boy, this needs to end in something, you know. Darwin Núñez, Raphinha, Lautaro Martinez, all of these, and many other, Telemans, Fabian Ruiz, all of these names. You better not end up with Lee Cattermole in the summer or something. Bring something. Arteta, I trust you. Edu, I trust your ability to follow instructions that Arteta and Co have given you. I don't know about off your own accord and the rest of it, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, man. It's crazy. There's a Ryan Gary interview. Shout out Ryan Gary, but come on, man. Let me see what else has come out. We've spoken about Ozil and Monreal. Don't no one care what Rio Ferdinand has to say. Apparently, Eduardo has said he doesn't remember Martin Tyler's apology following his leg break. Crazy. You know, some of you, fullback union and that. Apparently, Mr. Spence, who's at Forest on loan from Borough, confirmed he wants to play Premier League. Smith Rowe, get on the blower to him, mate. You know, he's a South Londoner. Let's get this done. What has he said, people? Well, there's that. What has he said, man? I want to know what he said. I always want to push myself and play with the best players and best team. Of course, it's an ambition of mine to play in the Premier League. I try to stay level-headed. I don't read too much into it. At the end of the day, I'm just here to enjoy my football. I need to stay focused, have tunnel vision, and play well on the pitch. Fact. It's been hard, but I never really worry. I know my ability. I know what I'm capable of. I've got a good family behind me that pushes me. I'm meant up, so I've got to be ready to take them. Facts. And we know Bayern Munich and everyone's allegedly looking at him. Everybody's interested in everyone. Everybody's looking at everybody. Whether they follow through is another thing, people. So yeah, man, that's what he has said. Why wouldn't you? He hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything wrong. But yeah, man. Yeah, we have heard apparently Zaha has suffered a grade 2 on his hamstring and he'll be assessed by Crystal Palace. Him and Elise might not play against Arsenal, which on one hand, I don't want anyone injured, but on the other hand, I'm happy that them true tricky players won't be. But could it be hoodwinked? Could we be being hoodwinked? I don't know. We need 2 midfielders at least. We absolutely need top 4. Would you take Dennis from Watford for the squad? Why not? Would you sell Tierney to Madrid if it meant we can poach a realistic target like Asensio or Jovic? No, because then there's a hole in. I'm not being funny, but we finally got a decent back 5. And if everybody's fit, we finally got a back 5. It's not been a case where we've got one centre back and we have 10 other shit ones. We've got 2 half decent ones and Saliba to come back. 9 times out of 10, we've had a left back, we've had a right back, we've had no right back, we've had a right back and a left back, we've had no centre backs, we've got the back 4, we ain't got a keeper, we've got Joltman in front of them. We finally got to this stage. Offers are offers, and I wouldn't begrudge Tierney if he forced the ball out to want to sign for Madrid and all these things, but you'd have to buy again. What would be the point, really? You know, especially after giving him a new deal and whatnot. Just to bring in flipping Jovic and Asensio, that's a myth, man. Whatever signings we make, I trust them. None of this matters anyways. Arsenal are going to lose to Chelsea, Liverpool and Spurs will take top 4. Maybe anything's possible, man. You know, hopefully not, though. I think Schick would do great things in our team. I don't. Also, if we make top 4, I think we should go all out for Bellingham or Rice. Long shot, I know, but I want that kind of ambition. I mean, let's just buy the right players, man. I don't feel Lautaro. He lacks explosiveness. It ain't worth it. He's just Lukaku in disguise. Why are you asking about wingers, DG, when a striker in midfield to replace Xhaka is priority? Respectfully, all you've heard me say is number 8 and the 9. Last time I checked, it's an 8. We've been linked with a few wingers, Raphinha, Gakpo. So I asked the question. I asked the question yesterday about a striker and whatnot. Today I'm asking about wingers. Now we're both just staring at the screen, baffled as to what's going on. Real Madrid done with their random youth project. Thoughts on players wearing sunglasses to prevent lasers in games? Well, it might have to be something. DG, I'm grateful that you're actually streaming on Twitch. I spend more time on Twitch than YouTube. Big up yourself, bro. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Best formation for us, 3-5-2 holding. Boy. I would love Martinez. Would you go for Sal or Rodrygo? I'd rather Rodrygo out of them. Brozovic and Darwin Núñez would be perfect signings for us. Good morning, DG. If we get 4th, would Calvert-Lewin and Balogun be enough up front? Nah, because there's an over-reliance on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I don't know if he'd adapt. Balogun, he's developing, innit? You know, it could be worth coming back to Arsenal next year. It could be worth him staying out on loan once again, really. if I'm completely honest with you. Martinelli has the thingy, has the Dani Alves cosign, but crazy. Shout out Cameroon for also making the World Cup. What else have we got? Apparently, the Premier League is set to introduce 5 substitutions rule. Maybe squad harmony will improve now. Apparently, Arsenal have the second highest average attendance in England this season. See what happens when you give people something to worry about. When you give us something to believe in, we're doing half decent. So, yeah, man. It is what it is in that regards. Make sure we're hitting the like button. 104 likes. If you've hit that like button, one love, people. Would you take Telemans? Yep. I mean, how far is 50 million going to stretch? You'd imagine if we've got our money already for Vlahovic. If we tried to buy Vlahovic, on one hand, we're bidding for man we know are not coming, but you was prepared to put 60 or so million, or even 70 you was reporting down for Vlahovic. There should be bread. You know, obviously, if you can find a left back, why not? But then you're going to have to at least take half of that 25 million and spend it on a left back. What's the point? Really, you're better off just finding out, getting your 10 to 15 for Telemann, for Torreira. Torreira, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Ainsley, Torreira, Bellerin, Leno, these sort of guys should, you'd imagine you're better off trying to sell them and getting your bread from that. And obviously the wages and the finances with El Nene, with Lacazette, with Aubameyang going, etc. Yeah, man. Was England correct? Was England fans correct to be their captain, or were they disrespectful? Incredibly disrespectful, if I'm honest with you, man. We must, our next 6 games are crazy, but our 3 games before the following 3, you'd imagine if anything, they must win. Why wouldn't we be looking at wingers? We clearly need depth. I swear some of our fans, but careful. Careful, man. I've learned to just take it in on one ear and then is where it is. Beyond that, really. What else have we got? So yeah, I don't get the logic behind the rhetoric behind selling Tierney. Reading other prices for strikers, this seems like a great deal for Martinez. Elise also out. Arteta's got something going, and I don't know, man. I hope Vieira allows us, but I don't know, man. It's always funny. I hope that no one's got any serious injuries. Last time we played Palace, they had no Zaha, and they caused us problems. But we might be getting hoodwinked. I don't know, man. It could be little white lies about injuries or exaggerating the level of an injury. I don't know. Big up DG. Balogun needs to go out on loan again next season so we don't make the same mistake we did with Eddie. Crazy. Well, see, look, saying keep your opinions coming. Interesting. I think we've covered that. Can Spurs drop cheeky points versus Newcastle? I hope Eddie Howe can be tricky, but I think Spurs will win that. I don't believe the Tierney rumors either, but who knows, man. Partey's come a long way, man. Balogun needs to chat to Spence 100%. We keep hearing we'll be in trouble if Saka gets injured, but people don't want no more wingers. I mean, I'd rather us. The priorities for me is central areas, a striker and an 8. But I'm not against that. I am not against bringing in a winger. Bringing in some goal scoring wingers might allow some average Donnies to do a thing. If you bring in a couple of goal scoring wingers, I might be slightly more open for Lacazette to stay and just do what he's doing. But yeah, man. Apparently, a 19-year-old man has been sentenced after admitting to sending a racially offensive message to Marcus Rashford. I don't know if that means sentenced to jail or community service, but yeah. Morata needs to come in with a winger like Trezeguet and we're good for the Champions League. Thoughts on Ivan Toney and Broya? Bring him in, man. But again, tier 2 strikers, in my opinion, Broya's got scope to grow, but You've never scored 15 to 20 Premier League goals or league goals in anywhere, really. I know he's done his thing at Vitesse. So while I think you're good for the squad, I think Arsenal make the mistake of we take players that are not necessarily, we don't know how to differentiate squad players, first team regulars, etc. We start taking squad players and making them first names on the team sheet, and then, you know, act surprised when they're not quite doing it. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But we'll just have to see what we're doing or try to do. Should we have one last look at Arsenal related stuff? It's just the same. I mean, Gakpo's the flavour of the week this week. You know, you type in Arsenal, all you can see is him, and him. And just clickbaited stuff, man. Trying to see what else he's doing. Raheem Sterling rumors are creeping back up, people. Nah, we hear that one there all the time. Since Arteta came into the club, we heard that, man. Do you think Arteta should cash in on Saliba? If he doesn't want to use him seriously, he might as well, but I don't want him to. I want to at least see him make a debut. Give him a chance. I think everyone should agree 6 months, first 6 months, from now till, well, from August until January, sorry. Let's try a thing. If something's not happening, then, yeah, man. So, yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. It's getting a bit weird. Tottenham have tweeted, no player deserves abuse. We stand with you, Harry Maguire. Lagged in the stream, but I'm tired of people talking about cashing on Tini. You need a viral replacement, not just cash in at first sight of money. If Gakpo comes in, Martinelli through the middle, I mean, I still want a proper number 9. This summer could be last chance saloon for Edu. I imagine him getting clipped if Arsenal have a poor window. I don't know, man, because I guess with what we're doing, I guess Edu is doing the perfect thing. Would you take 7 points from the next 3 games? Yeah. 7 to 9 points is what you're aiming for. Ideally, all 9. Yeah. Can't win them all. Sometimes bullshit is, pardon my French, is going to happen. So, yeah, man. Right now, Rodrygo is a decent... For 40 million euros, what's that? 36, 35, and or some ish like that. I wouldn't mind it. 21 years of age. I mean, Arsenal have... You know, we've committed to more risky additions to this club. Crazy. Crazy, man. Would you let Pepe go this summer? Probably needs to keep it moving. I wouldn't want him to go. I think he could still be used in the squad with, assuming we're in Europe, there's more football. I like Pepe in the squad, but if, you know, you're not playing in it, you're 26, turning 27, you're not playing. If Arteta wants to let him go and then bring in the next man, why not? But I would think there's other priorities to deal with. But as I said yesterday, he's contracted until 2024, the same period as Saliba, Martinelli, and Saka. Now, those 3 players, you've heard talks around new deals or summing up what we're doing. You've really heard next to nothing long-term about Pepe. So maybe silence or no conversation is a conversation. You must imagine internally there's been something discussed. So, yeah, man. I think Arteta might go the City route of no striker, but quality forward players. Maybe, but yeah, man, right now we're not in a position to do that, man. They've got every other aspect of their team collectively and individually down to a T. When you're like them, beyond the obvious, you can afford that. Goals win games, and I think Arteta might do that, but I think he, in little ways, he says things like, we need strikers who score, players have to score, we need 100 goals. You're not going to get that with just Lacazette's work rate. Pepe or Rashford. Rashford's homegrown, innit? But 2 alcoholics fighting outside the bookies, man. Dead. Bring Raphinha to the red carpet. But hey, we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Don't forget, people, make sure you're following on Twitch because I've got tapping told at 6 p.m. if I can remember correctly. So yeah, big up you lot. Doesn't seem like there's anything else where Arsenal's concerned. No. There are no talks to extend Mohamed El Nene's contract at Arsenal. As of now, he's expected to leave the club. Thank God. Mediocre in all aspects of the name, but he's not a good guy. DG, which profile striker you want at Arsenal? One that scores goals, bro. One that scores goals. That's first things first, goals, man. I'd sign Gnabry, plays for the badge. Champions League experience will unite the fans. I mean, it will be a nice signing, but I think the fans are already united. Playing for the badge is a given for everybody. Everybody's playing for the badge right now. I just need to know, are you good enough? And Gnabry, that's the only thing I care about, and he is. Uncle Partey off to Qatar. Wonderful performance, real Rolls Royce. Nice to see Partey's finding his feet. I'm just here to say hello to Ian Wright's mate. Me, I am Ian Wright's mate. Big up to him. I ain't his mate. You ain't calling me to go to the pub and that, but it was lovely to meet Uncle Ian, man. It was lovely to meet Uncle Ian. On that note, though, there's nothing else to bore you lot with, people, so I'm just going to keep it moving and get out of here, people. As usual, I appreciate all the support you guys give me, not just on YouTube or Twitch, but both of them and everything else. Make sure you're following me on Twitch, on YouTube, again, Spotify as well. You know, I upload the MP3 files for you lot to take that in, so it is what it is, man. Well, you know me, I'm not here for the banter thing. I'm just going to ask a man genuine questions, and that's where we go from that, man. You know, really and truly. So, yeah, one love, people. If you're on Twitch, appreciate you lot. You already know what to do. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. I can't lie. Twitch is like Bukayo Saka. YouTube, you man are Reece Nelson. On that note, though, we might as well get out of it.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on.
There's always that active red flag defending. I think it's like